Hi there, welcome to Race Centre. I'm Dazza. Here we have Glenn's 2016 R1, and I thought it was a great opportunity to go over some of the things that I always bang on about. Glenn's bike came in because he was having shifting issues on the track, and the gearbox was actually a bit of a disaster, from bent shift forks to pretty much all the gears being quite damaged. It was a really bad case. So it has had a whole gearbox rebuild. And while we were at it, we also did valve clearances on it. But part of that as well is it's got a Quickshifter on it, Quickshifter and an auto-blip. And Glenn wasn't sure whether they were working well or whatever. So once we put the bike together, rebuilt the gearbox, engine back in, we obviously put it on the dyno for a number of reasons, a quality check of our work, make sure there's no leaking of the engine. And the last thing you want to do is do a gearbox rebuild, and this being a track bike, and not test it on a dyno. You don't want to go to the racetrack and then find out you've got issues. So obviously straight on the dyno and straight up, it was obvious why this gearbox was in such bad condition. The Quickshifter that's on this bike was set up extremely poorly. The shifts were stupidly abrupt, and to be honest, it wasn't even working properly. And then once we even got it working, the way that the shifts were was extremely abrupt, and the way the blipper was extremely abrupt as well. So we've put new settings in that, made it a ton load better. As I always say with these things, if you can, we always recommend Translogic Quickshifters and blippers. They're amazing. It's what we use. They're so much nicer on your gearbox. This one's already got the shifter on it, so we've set it up a lot better. We have recommended it as a nice to have for Glenn to go to the next level and get a Translogic, but still confident in how this is set up. It's going to be a whole lot better. So the shifter itself was, so bad that over a period of time it caused that gearbox to be a disaster. So super important. A lot of these products out there you might buy, put them on, think great, I got a Quickshifter. Have somebody experienced set it up. If you're unsure, if your shifts feel abrupt or you're having to push really hard on the lever or things like that, then you have a problem. We have had a few jobs in where the customer says, oh, my Quickshifter needs a bit of refinement, you got to press it really hard for it to work. We get it on the dyno and then inform them it's not working at all. You're just smashing gears and being really rough with your gearbox. So really important that your Quickshifter set up correctly, and your auto blip. As I say, Translogic out of the box are pretty damn amazing, to be honest. They are pretty much the most plug and play thing you can get, but it pays to have an experienced person set them up for you if you can. Obviously on a dyno for track bikes, but even road testing, it's a great thing to have an experienced person do it. When it comes to auto blippers, while you might watch MotoGP and see how fast they go down the gearbox, while the auto blipper are amazing at rev matching, your gearbox is still the same gearbox that it is. It's not a seamless shift gearbox like they have in MotoGP. So you have to remember that. So while you can do it quite fast, you still do have to space it a little bit. So don't be in this habit of trying to do 3 all in one go really fast. When you watch the video about the speed that I do it, that's probably as fast as you want to do it. So what I'm doing on the dyno, you can use that as a reference. Any faster isn't going to work. So they're not seamless shift gearboxes, and you can't go down the gearbox as fast as you would in MotoGP, or you see in MotoGP. So that's... Also, the setup of the gear lever, the position needs to be natural for your foot. That's important, so set that up where it's nice and easy to get the shifts and also the downshifts. Us as human beings, when you drop your foot in natural position, some people's feet will dangle lower, some will just dangle higher, and that's going to affect where that shifter needs to be. Because with your foot, you've only got so much of a range where you have power to click the gear properly, right? So that if the shifter's too far away in a downshift, for example, as you're trying to approach it, you're almost running out of steam and range in your foot, so you're not clicking it properly. and that can end in false shifts. So really important to get that done properly. So yeah, on that stuff. So yeah, the Quickshifter and auto-blip setup was definitely a massive cause, and unfortunately Glenn's had to spend a lot of money to repair the gearbox in this bike.